Everybody's against the so-called black man.
Being oppressed, cursed for breaking the Deuteronomy codes. Deuteronomy 28:15 through 68. Read that. Leviticus in 23rd chapter. Read that.
Everybody's against the black man, but everybody wanna be us, man. Cream of the planet. Asiatic.
Our time comes soon. We've been oppressed too long. Taunting me and my people till our lives are gone. Our time comes soon. We've been oppressed too long. Taunting me and my people till our lives are gone. Shaklack, shaklack, shaklack. Guns are blazing. Bodies are laying every day on ghetto pavements. Girls molested by wicked men that their mothers trust to raise them. My first thought is to grab that thing and erase these abased men. But I realize I can't just kill lives that are products of European enslavement. Now many minds are like Frankenstein that are Willie Lynch related. See, some of us has never escaped it. We gotta do what it takes to break it. You say I hate them because they are rapists. Well, I hate the resource of our ancestors being locked to mate in cages. I'm preparing for our engagement, this war against the children of Satan. Patiently awaiting on Christ's return for this war of Armageddon. As stated in the 19th chapter of Revelations, our morals are merely disintegrating. We now walk the earth lost in space. My talk and thoughts won't make things safe because the truth often agitate. My destiny within the breath in me is to erase black self-hate. Don't call me a racist because I pinpoint hate and because I love to embrace my race. I belong to a nation that seems to have fallen within the abyss of the generation since being made slaves in former days by out of the cave Caucasians. Now my people really believe that a fake white Christ is coming back to save them. I see false prophets soul searching in New York subway station. Christ be black like me, so can you actually please tell me why you're all hating? If you research, you will see that this is factual information. Because the truth I speak, you say, tell the docs are racist. I hate them. Damn, you black and Latino people are so amazing. Looks like only Yeshua can come back to save some. Get your mind right, kings. Get your mind right, man. Face this war, get ready for this war. Armageddon, there's a war on blacks, man. Our time comes soon. We've been oppressed too long. Taunting me and my people till our lives are gone. Our time comes soon. We've been oppressed too long. Taunting me and my people till our lives are gone. I'm far from perfect, but striving to be Christ-like. So perhaps I can make a difference within our thugs' life. Leaders, preachers, and teachers give them false perception that mentally maim. They're drowning in the pool of deception and corruption in these last days. They have no map, plan, and hopelessly cased to ever escape this ghetto maze. Slow down, little homie, pump your brakes. Because too many black men are rushing to early graves. Too many still live in mental caves. Others slip through the cracks, then forget about their race. But I have a master plan straight from the Creator that will lift up the entire nation like an elevator. We're just pawns in the games, the real players hate us. They love white knights, white queens, that's cool. Like a chess game, my people, they study our every move. Use your freedom of speech to teach, they might move on you. If you attempt to spark dark minds with your Jews, I'm not trying to make your thoughts mine, cause that's not cool. But you can't lose with the stuff that I use. I give birth to thoughts that break the curse. In 9 months, these dead minds I unearth. Born again, I teach them to love each other first. This promotes both mental and spiritual elevation. We need to stand up now to unite as a nation. Demand reparations for all the days that they enslaved us. They say you people just need to learn to exercise patience. It's been over 100 years and we're still waiting. He sighs and looks up in disbelief. The commander-in-chief has no love for we. He's supposed to rule the earth justly, but I see death around the corner and hell up in Harlem, B. Don't go to Ethiopia, can't you see? We got starving children right here on our city streets.
This country really don't have no love for us. Is it possible to love whom you cannot trust? Things have to change, it is a must. After what was done to us, we've been beaten and shot for reaching for ID. Pay the police salaries to brutalize and murder me. Every city in America seems to be that the beast mentality is a monopoly.
Our time come soon. We've been oppressed too long. Taunting me and my people till our lives are gone. Our time come soon. We've been oppressed too long. Taunting me and my people till our lives are gone.
All right, shalom, 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 brothers, sisters, shalom. May the Most High find you all in good spirits. Peace and blessings be upon you all. So I wanted to touch on the topic. We're still dealing with the relationships between husbands and wives. Did Yahuwah make man the head of the household and wife? Is the man the head of his household and wife? If a man is the head of his household, Justice, Nick, then ultimately everything should come down to what the man says, right? Whether the woman agrees with it or not, right? You cannot have two paramount leaders. You can only have one. That's the way the Most High made it. And by the way, this is running on Rumble also, so you can log in on Rumble. If you're not logged in on Rumble, let me share the link. So if the Most High made man the head, if you have a boss, Nick, and you don't agree to what the boss told you to do, and you follow your own ways, what's likely to happen with you on that job?
I'm gonna lose that job.
Yeah, you're gonna lose that job. So we have to look at marriage very similar to that. Man is the leader, not by his choice, but by the choice of the Most High. The Most High made man the leader of that relationship. So if the man is the leader, then whether the woman agrees or not, if she's a true woman of the Most High, she will follow that man's lead. Do you agree, General Yashabi?
Carl, no doubt.
So given these facts, why is it so difficult today in today's age for women to take instructions? Women that claim to be women of the Most High, right? Women that claim to be women of the Most High. Why is it so difficult for these women to take instructions from their husbands when they claim to be women of the Most High? What's going on? I mean, because we have to keep beating this thing until the truth comes out and more women accept this and be saved. Because the fact of the matter is, all women that reject this, it's just there's no place in the kingdom for you. There's no Shemayim for you. You could try and twist that into whatever you want. You could try and say is chauvinist. Wait, shalom, Stephanie. You could say it's chauvinist or whatever, but unless you listen to your husband, not according to Tazadaq. Now, I have been set up as a Kahan, as a priest by the Most High. And you can like it, understand it, believe it or not. You may not like the way that I deliver because you want men that are catered to your ways. But the Most High did not create that kind of man in me. I speak the truth. And whether it hurts you or it makes you better, I am going to tell the truth. And I have a different way of, I'm really dissident. I have a dissident way of teaching. Prime example, I use myself as a catalyst. I don't have to share this with you guys, but I share it out of love. And so maybe some guys could learn from it. So I have legal custody of my sons, right? To the so-called court system. I don't really believe in that. I believe that as a man, we have to be non-emotional and, make the better decision. So just because that says something on paper, whenever their mother wants to see them, I've never intervened or try to stop her from seeing them. In fact, I try to encourage it because I didn't believe that she was seeing them enough. But now on the flip side of that, as you guys could probably see, I'm traveling. I came to get my sons, right? So the oldest son said that, he wanted to stay with his mother. Now, I made it abundantly clear, like, I don't necessarily agree with that. And the reason I didn't agree with that, because I told him you're at a critical stage in your life where you need to learn how to be a man. And I'm not going to put too much out there, but he's already done some things right before her to show her that he doesn't have respect for her, right? As he should, as a son should respect his mother, because he's already challenged her. And when he challenged her, she didn't really do anything to correct it, but just, utter some words or what have you. My discipline would have been much more sterner, but nevertheless, so I told him, I don't necessarily agree with you, Stan. I told her that if you want the best for him, you know that he's at a critical stage. The decisions that he make now might haunt him. But I'm a firm believer that you got to learn. Okay, if that you say that's what you want to do, I'm going to allow you to do it. But if you screw up, I'm going to intervene. But you can't start doing it and then just say in the middle of the school term, Dad, come and get me, like you've done in the past. Because now you're reaching that age, because he tried it before, and hey, can you come and get me? He's tried it before, but now you're getting older, and this is why, I don't believe it is good for single women to raise children by themselves. Now, given the statistics, if women could just put their emotions aside and listen to me, the reason, if we look at statistically, there's far more young boys that go to prison when they're not around their father, especially in those critical teenage years, right? Because a boy gets to a certain point that he believes that he could outsmart his mother and he could, overpower her. A lot of women will say, I put my son through college. You don't get, that's not raising a man. You may have been one of those women that put your son through college. Oh, well, okay, pat yourself on the back. But he usually turns out to be bitchy and effeminate, just like you. And this is why, in this society, there's a lot of women that don't like men. But you raise these men, like your mothers and your grandmothers, they raised these men primarily by themselves. And then you blame the father and you say he wasn't there because you took him away from the father. Then you told him how bad the father was. But as we know, hindsight is always 20/20, right? So now the child and sometimes the daughter go and stay with the mother for all of these years. And then once the damage is done, you say, here, you need to go and stay with your father. Now you want the father to fix that. So granted, this is not the situation, but you know me, I have a list of demands. Like I asked them, like, well, what do you? I've been asking them. You can't even tell me what you intend to do with your life, and you got about 3 years to come to this conclusion. If you can't, I'm going to decide for you. She doesn't look forward like that. Like, asked them today with her on the phone, like, so what exactly you intend to do? No answer. So you got 3 years to figure this out. You don't figure it out at the last minute. You need to know what it is now and be working towards that. Because this is what I want to tell everyone. If you don't have a target, then you don't have anything to aim at. If you don't have anything to aim at, how can you win? Because you don't even have a target. And this is why so many of our people lose. And then you want to turn around and you're looking for someone to point the finger at, to blame. But me, I have a dissident way of teaching. I let people learn from their mistakes. You know, you go out there, that's what you want to do. You make that decision. And, you know, I'll say this to women. If you really want the best for your sons, you really need to get out of the way and let their fathers raise them. Because you've tried it and you fell. Just putting a guy through college does not make him a man. You cannot teach him to be a man. His father, that's his father's job. You seen these women recently, Yashabin, the single parent women. You don't you know the system is trying to push a paradigm where the woman should celebrate Father's Day and Mother's Day?
Yeah, that's stupid.
She was the father and the mother.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. There's no way.
They've done an awful job at that, man. An awful job. So, you know, I'm saying this to say that a man is supposed to be the head of his household. If you have a woman in your household, I'm gonna say this to all brothers, and you might say I'm breaking people up, but I'm really building them up, right? And by the way, you know, this is on StreamYard. You can share the link on StreamYard. Thumbs up over there, but a lot of people really need to hear this message because it's from the spirit, right? So a lot of women out there, because of pride, sometimes they know the right thing to do, but they still won't do it. And that's emotionally based. Now, you know the circumstances, Yashabim. I was telling you today, like the time span. If you had the best interest of your child in mind, but I don't get emotional. I say, you know, I don't agree with that. But I think sometimes it's best that people learn through experience instead of me saying it, right? So if you're not there most of the time, why would you think it's in the best interest for your son to be there with you? If you're not there for, like, what was that, like 12, 16 hours a day.
Come on.
16 hours a day, you're not there. You leave before the sunrise and you get back late at night. That's allowing, and this is why so many teenage boys end up in the street. Because basically they're being reared by the television and they're being reared by the streets. So that won't happen on my watch, man. That doesn't, it's not going to happen on my watch. But if you're a woman and you're in a household with a man and you claim to love the Most High and you're not listening to that man, you're not honoring that man as a leader, you are not a woman of the Most High. Or as you say, God. I'm here to tell you that the Most High is going to curse you. And I'm not making any jokes or anything like that tonight. I'm coming straight from the heart. If you are a woman under the sounds of my voice like that, you're of the world, you're of the Satan, you're the devil, and you're just playing with the Most High. But the Most High got something for you. So I ask all of you under the sounds of our voices tonight that really want to learn how to be a better wife and a better mother. The first thing you do is you shut your damn mouth and you allow your husband to lead. What does the scripture say, Yashabin? You know, even if she don't agree with the man, the scriptures say that she's supposed to win him over with chaste conversation. Does it not
Meek,
say?
Meek and Chase conversation.
That means she used to be quiet and she used to stay humble, and that would bring him back down. But because of pride and because of their mother's failure to raise them properly and their mother's failure to raise them properly, she becomes combative. And the more, and you know what a lot of women would do, General Yashibin, is that they challenge the man, they challenge the man, they challenge the man. And then once they push the man to a point that he just don't care for you anymore, then you start complaining about he doesn't care for you. But the man's been wanting you all of this time.
Exactly.
Well, you've been challenging the man, you've been in his face, you've been talking about, you've been running your mouth, and now all of a sudden, he doesn't, because when a man doesn't have respect for a woman, Yashabin, he's going to start talking to her like she's nothing. You've lost him.
God.
She don't see, good brother Kadar, she doesn't see, and a lot of women, they become amnesiacs. Like they don't remember what they did to cause that. But they only see the end of the situation. So they forgot what took him there. Because you must bear me witness, man. The average man, let me tell you something. Men fall in love before women. That's a weakness men have. And that's why we're putting stuff on it. A man will fall in love. A man, stop me where I'm lying. A man will go out with a woman, right? And this is why I coach men on this. A man will go out with a woman 1 or 2 times. And this man's already imagining being in bed with her, having sex with her, what kind of ring he's going to get her. He's envisioning their long life together. But a woman doesn't, she's emotionally based. A woman doesn't work like that, right? She has to warm up to the man. See, he's already said, and when a man does that, I'm going to tell you, when you men do that, that pushes the woman back because it scares her. Because she's thinking, damn, I'm just getting to know you. We've only been out a couple times, right? So she's warming up to him. But he's already confessing his unfound love for her. And that completely pushes her away. And you know why he's like that? Because he was raised by a woman. If he was raised by a man, he would know not to do that. He's not a strong man. And it's woefully sad. I'm talking about 75 to 80% of the men right now, ladies. You're highly likely to encounter a man like that. Very highly probable. It's highly likely that you will encounter that kind of man, and most of you already have. So you got to be, women got to be, because the scriptures say once you spread your quiver, you're with that man until he dies, right? So you need to be very selective in who you get involved with, and once you get there, don't try to sugarcoat things, and then after you're with the man for a while, he see this demon come out. You're being disrespectful, because that will drive that man. How many of you guys on the call, especially once the man's in the truth, right? And he knows a woman's not supposed to be talking back to him, like yelling and shouting. How many of you wants to how many of you would stay with a woman like that? How many of you interested in staying with a woman like that could do?
Yeah.
You should be. Every word you can't get the last word, and you do realize that's a form of disrespect, right?
Every time. But I'm just, want to have a say so. It doesn't even make sense.
A man doesn't want to be, and I don't care how attracted she is, it pushes the man away. And then once she pushed the man away, and a lot of women have this tendency to do that. So all you do is just leave. Women, no. Me personally, guys, I leave the bullshit because I don't have time for it. You gotta know where to draw the line. If you can't humble yourself and be under your husband, then you don't deserve one. Because that's what the Most High gives. Now let's get some precepts to prove this. Let's go to Ephesians 5:22. One of the precepts that say it all. Ephesians 5:22. Careful. Where you at?
I got you.
In the trailer?
Book of Ephesians, chapter 5.
It is right there.
Wives.
You're in the what do you call it? Mobile home?
No, I'm not in my motorhome right now, but I'm pretty close to it. I could jump into it.
Light over there, isn't it? It's still light outside over there, right, Kidfoot?
Yeah, man, it's beautiful right now. Look at that. Sun's out, guns out.
Damn. It's dark over here, man. It's almost 11 at night. How's the sun still out over there?
Feels like California here, man. It's hot and sticky, bro.
It's almost 11 at night over here, Kidfoot.
Come.
It's crazy, man. The sun's still out. I thought you guys was only like 3 hours ahead, 2 hours ahead.
Yeah, we're 3 hours ahead.
All right. So it's almost 8 over there.
Oh, behind. My bad. 3 hours behind you guys. For
Right.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Up.
Come. Book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 22. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto Yahuwah.
Okay, stop for a second. Does that not say it all right there? Now you tell me, Yashabim, if a woman claimed to be a woman of the Most High, how can you talk back? Would a woman argue with the Most High, Qatar? Would she argue with the Most High? It says to submit to your husband like as unto the Most High. That's the kind of respect your woman is supposed to have for you. And guess what, brothers? If she's not doing that, she's not a real woman of the Most High. She's playing with you. That's the kind of woman that the Most High is called upon. All of these women talking back to you, that's disrespectful, and that's blaspheming the Holy Spirit. See, a lot of women, they claim that they want to know the scriptures. They claim they want to be in the truth until they hear it taught like this, the correct way. That you don't need anything to debate in that. Submit to him as you would the Father. Now, the system tells you, oh no, there's equality. The Most High didn't make anyone head. Read on, Yashabim. Let's see if that's true. Where's Benaiah, man?
On verse 23.
Come on, brother. You could do better, brother. Please. Please, brother, please. It's Benaiah, man. We've been on here, what, 30 minutes? The brother can't be, he can't be, Kadar. He's not asleep this early. Nah, he just couldn't be.
He at the gym. Doing them chin-ups.
That's how he did before, too, man. Every time Benaiah gets involved, man, he makes it obvious.
Man.
Oh, man. Go ahead,
Khan. Verse 23. For the husband is the head of the wife.
Okay, there's no equality right there. Hold on, brother. There is no equality right there. Well, what are we reading? We're reading the Bible. It doesn't say anything about equality. A lot of men would try and twist that. A lot of preachers, a lot of pastors try to fit that to cater to what the woman wants to hear to keep her around. Damn what the woman wants to hear. I'm going to tell the truth or the Most High will kill me. And all of you women that don't get under this headship, you're going to die. You're going to die in your sins. I want you to understand that. You're going to die in your sin. I make no mistake about that. I make no apology for that because the truth needs no apology. Your wicked behind is going to die and you're going to get judgment. What's going to happen? The Most High is going to put you with a no good man that'll take you through the damn ringers. Because a wicked woman is given to a wicked man for an inheritance. Go ahead, huh?
Even as Christ is the head of the church, and he is the savior of the body. Verse 24. Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything.
Wow. In everything. In everything. This this is what I'm. Help me out here, Kadar. This is what I want to know. Why are women claiming to be women of the Most High? And they read this and they bypass it. They look over it. They act like it doesn't exist. Because every time she talks back to one of you brothers, that's what she's doing. She's blaspheming the Holy Spirit.
Con.
But I mean, I'm just trying to fathom, how does she believe she's a woman of the Most High when she's directly going against this? I'm lost, man. Seriously. I mean, I just don't. I don't get it. How does she think she's righteous when the Most High is telling her what to do by her through His prophet?
Delusional.
Submit.
Con.
If you're submitting, justice, that means that what you're submitting to, you're subservient to that. Is that not true?
Con.
Yeah, look up the word submit and watch what it says. You're under someone else's authority. And so it is with the woman. But she said, a man can't tell me nothing. I'm going to do what I want to be. You're not my dad. Yeah. Submit.
Or my father didn't even talk to me like that. He should have.
Come. Yep. She would be totally different too.
Con.
She would be totally different. Let's get 1 Corinthians 6 and 13. Watch this.
Con.
Oh, sorry. You good?
Go ahead, Up.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 13. Meats for the belly, and the belly for meats. But Yahuwah shall destroy both it and them.
Mm-hmm.
Now the body is not for fornication, but for Supreme Elohim, and Supreme Elohim for the body.
Come. So the body is not for sexual immorality, fornication, but for the Most High. And the Most High is for the body. He said, you are the living temple. The temple of the Most High dwell within you. Gonna have to get it together, folks. Gotta do better. It is a must. Must do better. 1 Corinthians 11, verse 3. Things has gotten so bad, man. I mean, wow. This world, I mean, all of the signs of this world is ending up. The wickedness has become so powerful, man.
Con. Flat out.
Eve, man. What's going on with Nicholas Carefoot? What's up with Eve? No comprendo, huh, Carefoot?
No comprende.
Carefoot not saying anything, man.
Do you want that 11 verse 3?
Yeah, go ahead, huh?
Book of 1 Corinthians chapter 11 verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man.
Where did you read equality in that, Yashabin?
Nowhere.
So if a woman has a problem with that, is her problem really with man or the Most High?
The Most High.
The Most High, man.
Con, Most High.
Your problem is really with the Most High, man. So I mean, you could Hamashiach acknowledge that. Someone get John 7 verse 7. I mean, your problem is really with the Most High, and she's only fooling who? Kadar herself.
Con.
She's just fooling herself, man.
The
Boy,
book of
Eve,
Yah
man,
It's like,
Eve been trying to be the man since the beginning, man. Shortly after she was made, you could be a god and your eyes will come open. Remember, Adam was made like that. Adam was made like a little god. What's that guy? Kadal used to come over here. Elon Mitchell's son. Little G, little G.
little G, little O, little D.
Oh yeah. That guy. Yeah. King, brother King. That guy.
The book of John, Yakanan, chapter 7, verse 7. The world cannot hate you, but me it hateth, because I testify of it, that the works thereof are evil.
See that? So she don't really hate you, brother. She hate the Most High, man. She hate this world. And the men too. Because a lot of men get on the bandwagon. They go hard, man. I be wanting to throw them a tampon. They go so hard for Eve. I asked one dude, I said, yo, what's your dress? He said, what you need my dress for, N-word? So y'all was going to mail you a box of tampons, huh? Because you bleeding all over the place. That's what I told him, huh? Real talk. I be talking like that to them on these social medias, because sometimes they need to hear it. That's why I be getting flagged so much, man. Just got to let them know, man. Come on, man. You're more emotional than the bride. Women be exploiting themselves up. I said, man, this is ridiculous. You know what the dude told me? Nigga, you gay. All right, man, whatever. Because I'm into that fornication like you. I say, yo, that's a low-class woman right there. See, they don't look at the woman like in the light. They should look at her until she's their woman. Then it's too late.
It's too late.
Because any man that doesn't care about his woman going out dressed half naked with a cleavage out, with pants in her ass cheeks, that man really doesn't care about her, man. He's nothing but your pimp. When you care about something, you will protect it and you will cover it up. Man, you ain't going through the hood with a $20,000, a $50,000 or $1 million gold chain on. You're not walking through Marcy, man, with it out and you bling it.
Nah.
You're gonna get stuck up, man. So you cover it up and you protect it if you're smart. Now some people are trying to be gung-ho and they'll put it to a test and they'll get robbed. Like Young Buck did when they took his chain back in the day. Gang had to go and get the chain back for him, man. You go out with his jewelry's flashing, boom. Run that chain, homie, or your life.
50 Cent got robbed for his jewelry here in Canada, man. Same way.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, you gotta, and these stick-up kids, they don't care, man. Snap your life, man. You probably just got out. Take the chain, man. But you shouldn't have it on out there like that. Because those goons are lurking. Ephesians chapter 1, verse 22. I don't know. David is in the building. Ephesians 1 and 22.
Come on.
Careful, grew his beard back, look like a man again. A few months back, he was looking like a sodomite with no beard. Clean shave. Remember? Now, hold on, man. I think I'm being funny, man. But remember King David's men? When they shaved them, the men stood, they was embarrassed. They trying to cover themselves up, man. Because they didn't have no facial hairs.
Yeah, they stayed away.
Race that's considered to be in ancient times, man. Then Esau promotes it like it's the thing to be.
Come on.
My mom wants me to get rid of the beard. She doesn't like it.
She don't know me.
Yeah, she's modernized.
That's crazy.
I'm liking all the scriptures tonight, man. These are good scriptures. I need to hear these ones right now.
Yeah.
Come on, Book of Ephesians, chapter 1, verse 22. And hath put all things under his feet, and gave him to be the head over all things to the church.
Mm-hmm. So come on, Hamashiach. The church, you're the church. You're the real church. Huh? Ephesians 5:24 again. So now, who does the church submit to? Hamashiach. Who does a woman submit to? She said, I submit to God. That's not what the scripture said. You submit to your husband and the Most High.
Come. The book of Ephesians.
One of my favorite ones, Kadar. How come you're not married, sis? Oh, I'm married to God. I'm married to Jesus.
Wicked.
Oh man, you hear that so much.
Well, they love that thing right there, boy. They be the wickedest ones, up.
Come. The book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 24. Therefore, as the church is subject unto Hamashiach, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything.
Come. And so the whole nation, Hamashiach, the one that they ignorantly call Jesus Christ, is a polygamist in that he's married to the whole nation of Israel. Revelation 19, verse 7. He's married to the whole nation, and Israel is always referred to as his bride.
Come. The book of Revelations, chapter 19, verse 7. Let us be glad and rejoice and give honor to him, for the marriage of the Lamb is come, and his wife hath made herself ready.
See that? His wife is the nation of Israel. See, here's someone out in the hallway doing a sinister laugh, huh? Demon, man. Laugh is worse than David Davis, man. Colossians 1, verse 18. Sounds like that right next door. Colossians 1 and 18.
Come on. Book of Colossians, chapter 1, verse 18. And he is the head of the body, the church, who is the beginning, the firstborn from the dead, that in all things he might have the preeminence.
Cool. That's all I got, man. I just dropped the link in the room. It's at 11. I'm going to stay too long, man. Got another long drive tomorrow, man. Damn. I'm looking forward to that, man. Yeah.
Come.
Anyone. What do you have?
Yeah, some of them favorite lines.
Was that?
I was saying some of them favorite lines. Not my daddy. My dad didn't even talk to me that way.
Oh yeah.
He's supposed to be equal or should not have a say so. I'm just like the logic behind that though. Like just not only using the Bible, but the logic. If you know as a woman, you make more emotional decisions than the man, why would you even trust yourself over the man in the relationship?
It's pride, pride. And he'll challenge you, you would teach some of these women the scriptures out, they will come back. They act like they was following, they will come back when they get mad and that spirit of Satan jump on her. She'll do what she want to do, say what she want to say. It's horrible, man. It's horrible. And some guys just to hang around and stay in it for the sake of the children. Nah, not me. You only get one chance at this life, man. You live it right, once is all you need. What's going on, Justice?
Elevation, never stagnation, King. For real. Speaking big facts, big super facts, King. And it's crazy how the scenario you were speaking about your offspring's mother. And it's crazy because my son is doing exactly what you were saying to his mother, disrespecting her, don't want to clean up and all that. And first thing she said, you need to come get your son.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, wow. Yeah, man. I mean, after she literally kept him from me for years, bro.
Yeah,
For
now
years. Now,
that's what I'm saying. She ruined him. Now when he's out of
yeah,
control, she wants you to come and fix her mess.
for real. He's spazzing out, you know what I'm saying? He threw something at her. I was like,
And
what?
that's out of
So when I
control.
talked to him,
It's out of control.
yeah, yeah. I talked to him. I got the building with him. He was like, Dad, I'm sorry. I said, listen, man, you know if I was in front of you, you know that'd be something real
Yeah.
you already know how I would handle that, right? He
Yeah.
said, yes, sir. I was like, you already know. I said, do I disrespect my mother? You know, I said, so why are you disrespecting your mother? You know what I'm saying? But he actually put it out there. He actually, you know what I mean, built on it. I said, I'm the witness, so you can speak freely, you can build on it. Let me know what's going on with you. First I asked him, I said, are you upset with me? What's up? You know, say you got something, you know what I mean, you got something on your chest you want to say towards me, you feeling some kind of way? He said, yeah. And I'm saying, when I was in bondage, he was like, you wasn't there and I wanted you there. You know what I'm saying? I felt some kind of way. I said, all right, I get that. And I said, all I can say is forgive me, you know what I'm saying, for the decisions I made, you know what I'm saying, that got me away from you. But why are you disrespecting your mother? Tell your mother, you know what I'm saying, what's going on. And he said, she doesn't talk to me, she talks at me.
Mm.
I was like, wow. Okay. And his mom was like, forgive me. She was like, I apologize. I'm gonna get better. You know what I'm saying? But he keeps slipping back. Like my offspring big. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
you know, doing the that Charlie 1-liner, and I mean, he's sitting in the house all day playing video games. She feeding him swine and everything. And I've been asked. I said, stop feeding him that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So now he all out of proportion. I tell him, I said, listen, he said it. He said, I'm uncomfortable with my weight. I said, you are a man, you are a young man now. If you don't like it, change it.
Right.
I said, change it. Get up, do some push-ups. I mean, you do 5 push-ups, the next day do 6. Keep pushing it. Get out the house, go walk. Drink some water, put some lime in there, keep it moving. I said, I'm working on something and I got you. I'm coming to get you. But in the time being, I don't want to hear about you disrespecting your mom again. His mom called me again yesterday telling me the same thing. I said, tell him to call me. He ain't called me yet because he know I'm going to get in his bushes like you out of order. I said, why are you acting up? I'm like, what's up? I said, what you want me? Can I, know what I'm saying, and get in your face or something? No, sir. You know what I'm saying? Man, you know what I'm saying? Like, he know what time it is with me. He be like, man, he really lashing out. You know what I'm saying? His mom used to do some real wicked stuff. You know what I'm saying? Just so happened his mother was dealing with my ex-wife's brother. So my ex-wife's brother used to tell me the wicked stuff she used to do when he used to come over to spend time with her. She used to tie a what's that rope called? But it's like elastic. You know what I'm saying? Like you use it to, like, say like you buy a mattress, right? And you can stretch it out to hold it to the car. What's that called again? That damn, it got hooks on the end, but it stretches out.
A bungee cord.
No, not the bungee cord. The little joint. It's smaller than the bungee cord, and you use it and you stretch it out. It got the little hook. It got the hooks on the end on both ends of it. I forgot what they call it.
That's a bungee cord, Doc.
I'm not talking about the one you jump off the bridge with. I'm talking about the
No,
small
but that's still
jump.
they still call those bungees though. Like those are still bungees. Like I use them on my motorhome. Like that's a bungee.
Okay. And I know it's another word. It won't roll off the tongue right
You
now.
could do tarp straps,
yeah, I
like the
got
same thing too. No, it's like
Yeah. They probably used to
yeah.
them
But
calling tie
anyway,
down
so
straps or
she
something,
was
man.
using that cord, that thing, to keep my son in the room while she entertained that man, and he
That's
remembered
crazy,
that.
y'all.
yo,
That's
she's putting your dog
crazy.
on a leash, Ak. She's not your own son is not has a no off leash dog area rules. She wants to help her
Man,
make her home fun and safe for all by putting your son on a leash that's permitted within the fenced area only.
man, when I say when he told me that, when my ex-wife's brother told me that, I was like, he what? And I asked her about it. She said no. But then my son told me that. He said, Mommy locked me in a room and tied the cord around the banister. So if he can't open the door because it's strapped to the banister, so it won't open while she entertained company. I was like, are you serious? And he remembers that. He remembers that.
Evie off the chain, huh?
She psychologically tormented my
That's
son.
child abuse. That's also child abuse too. Because if there was a fire or something, like how's he supposed to escape? You just tie your son down.
You
Ridiculous.
already. You're absolutely right.
That's crazy,
so now
right there.
she's
Huh?
being punished for what she did. You know what I mean? Because he lashing out at her. I'm like, man.
Yo, Esau does that too. My mom used to do that. She put me on a leash and took me skiing like a dog, like down a hill.
Yeah, that's how they walk the children in New York, man.
Con, a king. Did this back when you had Talk Shoe Radio, and
They
I
have
remember,
a
I
moment
remember sending you this picture.
on
I sent you a picture where
chains
the
like
woman
that,
had the
walking in a
baby.
single file.
The baby had the harness thing on with the cord, with the leash thing. And I remember sending that to you through one of my old phones because I remember that picture. I said, Con, this is so out of order. Because I think you had did a podcast on that when you had Talk Shoe Radio, and we was talking about that. And I sent you that picture when I was out and about, and I seen that a woman was on the corner. I was cutting at another barbershop, and I was coming out the store, and I seen that the woman had the baby on a leash. I was like, "Are you serious, dude?" Crazy.
Well, this world I had, this world's going to hell in a handbasket, man. I'm telling you. It's not safe no more.
Is wicked. I mean, got
something like that would set me off.
Man. They got them off. You know what I'm saying? They won't let a man be a man. You know what I'm saying? They want us to step up when it's too late. They want us to step up when our offspring's damn near 1 foot in the prison system. You know what I'm saying? Almost about to go in there. You know what I'm saying? That's what happened to me. Flat out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in the house. I'm outside running around. You know what I'm saying? Doing whatever. You know what I'm saying? Looking for my pops. He booked. I'm out there. You know what I'm saying? Looking for, you know what I mean? The big brothers or the big homie or whatever the case may be. Doing whatever. You know what I'm saying? Hitting and missing. Doing what I want to do. It's crazy, man. And I know if my father was there, I know I wouldn't have been out. I know I wouldn't have been in the beast. But I don't know because I can't say that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a good chance I probably would not have been, but I witnessed my father deal with that haram. You know what I'm saying? I actually watched him put that dog food in his arm. I actually watched that. I'm saying he thought I was resting, but I'm actually looking at him. It was a light over top of a sink. And I watched him put that spike in his arm. I watched that. I actually seen that.
Yeah, you saw it already, man, on what's it called? What was it, Boys in the Hood? When Lawrence Fishburne's son The mom had him, and then when she messed them all up, she said, "Yo, you need to go and stay with your dad." And his dad had that, you know what I mean? Really like, listen, man, you go out there and you get in trouble, man. You better get out of your damn car, man. You better walk away, Trey. Because I'm not coming to get you out of jail. And remember when it was about to pop off? You know, he had to get him out of that car, man.
Con.
Remember the
Doe,
car
let me
stopped?
out.
He said, "Stop the car, stop the car."
Con, Doe, let me out.
Car. And then they looked at him like he was doing something wrong, huh? But that saved his life right there.
Con.
Yep. That scenario happens every day, huh?
So, going off that scripture you said earlier on how a wicked woman is the inheritance to a wicked, to like a.
Want to put it in the employee one? Or at the airport correction? Oh, in the boiler room? Yeah, I got you. Yeah, no, I got you, but.
Yeah, man.
Yo, Kahan, you're in the room twice.
You always?
Airport prices.
This is more than the airport, man.
Airport's actually 4 or 5 hours for the bigger. They offer the bigger portion because that's how they get you. Between, I just end up with any business. So you all set for the top. It's not a big difference in price. You want to use portrait?
Yeah. That's why I drove to 7-Eleven, man.
Oh, no, it's equal. Oh, okay. Yeah, but I got my have one. I didn't pull out the bags, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Justice, you better get control of that situation, man. That situation's spiraling out of control, man.
Absolutely, I'm on it, man. I gotta get it.
I didn't get any of those when I came in. I thought they offered those to you. What was that?
Just make sure you sign for it. Made property to sign.
You have any more of those in there? Can I get one of those? They usually have those hot things. Yeah, Justice, you better get control of that situation, man. Because that's going to spiral out of control, man.
Con, you're absolutely right,
Yeah,
King.
I wouldn't, you know what I mean? Too. Thanks. Yeah, that's spiraling out of control, huh? She going to that extreme. She's treating him like an animal already. How you expect him to behave?
There's something he did when he was like
What's up?
5, and he was 5 when she did that. When she used that bungee cord to restrain him in the room, put it on the banister and put it on the doorknob so he couldn't get out. That happened when he was around 5. I think he just holding some kind of resentment behind that to this day because he still remember it. Lashing out, throwing stuff at her, being real disrespectful, and he don't have no kind of guidance. Know what I mean, for his younger offsprings, he be treating them like real sideways, acting real nasty towards them. I'm like, what? They your little brothers and sisters. Why are you treating them like that?
Mm-hmm.
He being real spiteful, throwing things out of pocket.
Yeah, some children would try and use that up as a catalyst. You know how you say when he said you was in a house of bondage? You could only use that to some degree, man. It's not going to help anything. So he needs to overcome that. He needs to get rid of that. Because that's not going to do anything but hurt him. That's not going to improve anything. went through that with my son. Like he was trying to tell her, yeah, we hold on, man, echo. How come you and dad can't be together anymore? I said, yo, I'm not being with your mom anymore, man. So he was bitter like that for a minute, huh? So I was like, yo, I'm not being with her anymore. You're gonna have to just face that. You know what I mean? But you're gonna stop using that as an excuse, man, for your temperaments and so on and so forth. You know, all men know that when you get a certain age, you think you can outsmart your mother. That's why it's imperative to have a strong masculine figure in that boy's life, man.
Hey, Shalom, big. I just wanna, say my 2 cents and pull off. First and foremost, all praise to the Creator, Most High, yeah. One time for our big Ak, Mashiach, Shua, whatever you want to call him, except JC. If you do that, I still rock with you. But yeah, I wanna talk about scripts. I want to talk about scripts, and I want to say to my brother Raheem, I make sure you be on him that he like vagina. Cause they pushing that LGBT ABCDEFG agenda too hard. If it's anything, make sure that he love women. Then and another thing I want to review is like Deborah Ream. I'm gonna review something that everybody, like the conscious community, been talking about this, and amongst our brothers, Miss Bukai. Like what is rape? And I think we do Deuteronomy 24:10. I was hoping that if we could expound on that, because that's been a very heavy topic.
What was that?
Rape.
Yeah, that's not rape. You know, when GMS came out and said that years ago, that's not rape. Someone get that. Deborah 24:10. Only in this society is that rape. In Esau society.
The book of Deborah, chapter 24, verse 10. It's 24 and 10, right up?
I think that's it. I probably gotta look it over, Kadar.
Let me see.
No, that's not it. 24 and 10. When thou doest lend thy brother anything.
Let me see. What are you talking about, Wake Up Jacob? If a man see a maiden in the field?
Basically, the word force.
You know exactly what precept. Is he talking about 22:28? I think he's talking 22:28. Is that what you're talking about?
Man, I'm basically. Let's see.
I think he's talking about Deuteronomy 22:28.
The book of Deborah, Deuteronomy, chapter 22, verse 28. If a man find a damsel that is a virgin.
Start reading at verse 27.
Book of Deborah, Deuteronomy, chapter 22, verse 27. For he found her in the field, and the betrothed damsel cried, and there was none to save her. Or it's 25.
If he do that, that's rape, because that woman, she's courting another man. She's engaged to another man. And she cried out. If the woman sit there and allow it to happen, different scenario. Go ahead.
Con. The book of Deborah, chapter 22, verse 25. But if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field, and the man force her and lie with her, then the man only that lay with her shall die.
Okay, so now it started to come to me. All right, so I'm talking about the script says when we go out to war and find a woman that we like.
Hold on. Which precept did you just read, Kadar?
22, 25.
Is that the one you was looking for?
Nah, I was looking for the gent. Like if we go out to war and the woman we find, if we go out to war, we see a woman that's captive and we got to make her our wife for 30 days.
I'm not sure what you're talking about right there.
He talking about the booties of war.
Yeah, but I know you can make her concubine. It doesn't say you have to make her a wife. Those women were generally slave women. If the man wants to marry, he can, but usually women of other nations that were captured were made concubines.
So what's that Deborah Ream looking for? Like she had a purr nails and cut her hair.
That's a prostitute. In biblical time, when a woman had to cut all her hair off, it's because she was caught in prostitution. I'm still not sure. I guess he wasn't looking for that precept, Kuda.
Con.
I'm not sure exactly what precept he's looking for. So that wasn't a precept you was looking for, Jacob?
Nope. I'm a fan of Aki.
What does it say?
All right, so we both agree on the woman, like on what was the first Jan Kadar read out. Of course, we know that, but I'm expounding on with the Shah. Shah came out with some. It's a controversial script, but Shah from FOP. FOPE.
Oh man, here we go. Here we go, man. Very controversial, man. Click over there. What do you say?
All right, so Aki brought out a verse. He was saying that it's considered rape when we get a woman captive. We bring them into our house and let them purr, but like after we groom her, then we can go inside of her. He's saying that's rape.
But what does the scripture say?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to find out. I'm really trying to find it.
Telling you, man, they be coming with some controversy, man. I'm not sure which precept.
He's going off over here.
Who?
Screaming at.
Hey, careful, give me a second. I know you want to talk about some scripts too, but this the parameter is a parameter this moment. I think it's 21 and Deuteronomy 21 and 10 amongst them areas.
Deuteronomy 22 and 10, 21 and 10.
Okay, con.
Nefertali, Hulan Mitchell.
Con.
You got Deuteronomy 21 and 11.
King, brother King. Brother, can we just read that after the Passover?
God. The book of Devarim, Deuteronomy chapter 21, verse 10. When thou goest forth to war against thine enemies, and Yahuwah thy supreme Elohim hath delivered them into thine hands, and thou hast taken them captive, and seest among the captives a beautiful woman, and hast a desire unto her, that thou wouldest have her to thy wife. Then thou shalt bring her home to thine house, and she shall shave her head and pare her nails. And she shall put the raiment of her captivity from off her, and shall remain in thine house, and bewail her father and mother a full month. And after that thou shalt go in unto her, and be her husband, and she shall be thy wife.
There's nothing in there that says anything about rape, man.
One more 14. All right, so I'm gonna read 14. And it shall be, if thou have no delight in her, then thou shalt let her go whether she will, but thou shalt not sell her at all for money. Thou shalt not make merchandise of her, because thou hast humbled her. So Shah
You
saying
didn't say
humble
you
me.
have a humble her, that means you had sex with her. Humbled her means you had sex with her. What did he say?
Rape.
That's not rape, man. There's no. Thou has humbled her. Listen, man, you read that again, Kadar. But he gave her the time to mourn her parents, that she wasn't going to be with her parents anymore. The man lied with her. He made her his wife, but he didn't find favor in her after a while. Hamashiach stopped that anyways, for a man just putting a woman away for any cause. Because back there during this time, if a man just said, you know what, I don't like you anymore, he could put her away. That's why Hamashiach came and said, except it be for fornication, the man that puts her away caused her to commit adultery, and the next man she goes to is committing adultery, because she's still married to that first man. She has to be disobedient or something, or do something that violates, the laws of the Most High. You can't just put her away because you don't like her. But the scriptures say if she will not go the way that you will have her, then you can put her away. Now that's a reason, because she's been disobedient. But there's nothing in that precept that says anything about rape, man. Okay, read that again. These guys, man. You know damn well humble her don't mean that you come on, man. To humble a woman means that you lay with her, you had sex with her. These guys, man. Damn.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 21, verse 14. And it shall be, if thou have no delight in her, then thou shalt let her go whither she will. But thou shalt not sell her at all for money. Thou shalt not make merchandise of her, because thou hast humbled her.
Nah, thou has raped her.
No, that means I can sell her on OnlyFans. Here's the problem with all these clickbait kind of camps, man. They kind of come up with this kind of doctrine. It's just sort of like feminism in a sense, because they're kind of preaching to women, and they want to keep these women in their camp. So they start modifying the scripture just so it fits with what the women want. I've experienced it myself, especially on places like Clubhouse. They start playing to the room instead of just basically teaching the scripture that the way it's meant to be taught.
So when you look at the Ibrit word there, Jacob, Melican, you know it's not saying that they rape her, man. That guy, he claimed to be able to read the Ibrit. When you look at that in the Ibrit, the word is inatah. That means you dishonored her. How have you dishonored her? because you had sex with her and you don't want to be with her anymore. Inata. In the Ibrit. When you look that word up, what is it? Let's see if I can find it in the Strongs, man. Look for Strong. Someone pull up Strong 6031 in the Bible Concordance. That word means dishonor. It don't mean no damn rape. I don't even. This is why you can't just listen to anyone, man. People shouldn't say something if they don't know it, man. And you'll get brothers debating over that, man. Over nothing. It's totally inaccurate. That means you humbled her. You dishonored her. How did you humble her? Because you took her virginity, then you decided you don't want to be with her anymore. And you dishonor her by putting her away. Inata. Someone got that Strong 6031?
Yeah, 6031. I got it says
Anna.
Anah. Con.
Mm-hmm.
To be bowed down or afflicted.
Mm-hmm. Hold on. That's not the exact word I was looking for. Let's see. Let me see.
Afflicted, depressed, downcast.
Mm-hmm. That's how you turn. That's how you made the woman.
Con.
But the word, the Ibrit word I'm looking for is inata, which means to
humble oneself.
Dishonor. Let me see. What was that, Yashabin?
Con, have it again as humble oneself.
Mm-hmm. It also means dishonor. Seeing if I could find it in Strong's, but I can't find it in Strong's. Inatani. Dishonor. Inatani. I don't think Strong's has that, man. Let's see. Got 83 occurrences of that word in the scriptures, man.
You got humbled by fasting, humbled by cohabitation, humble, weakened, object, afflict as a disciple.
Yep. But that has nothing to do with no rape.
Yeah, it's nowhere in here in that.
God, man. Stop it, man.
So what was GMS perspective?
Nah, it wasn't even on that scripture right there. I thought you was talking about the scripture that they had. Basically they was telling men that they could come out and rape her. The scripture said, the woman had to be a virgin, and if she didn't cry out, something like that. So, a lot of brothers was going in on them after that, man.
Yeah, Taza, that's a new topic, Big Ock. That dude around him at 21. Yeah, 21-10 shot started it. Then I ain't saying he started it, but he spoke upon it. I was just laughing like I ain't gonna go back and forth I ain't gonna go back and forth, but that's the topic. That's the hot topic of the discussion right now amongst us.
Yeah, I mean, those guys always like to bait and argue. That's why I stopped going over there. That word, to shut it down, see what the what he's doing is he's mistranslating the Hebrew word adna. That could carry a meaning of rape, but that word is not translated like that in 21. And what was that precept you read, Kadar?
It was 21:10 through 13.
Yeah. So what he done Jacob is he don't looked at some Amalekites transliteration, and their transliteration they'll say force her to have intercourse. So that's where he got that from. Now he's going to make an argument out of it.
I think, yeah, that's facts. I think you right on that. Cause I was watching the video, the shorts. He was using different books with different dictionaries to prove his point.
Yeah. Now if you read Genesis 34:2, that's talking about rape. When they rape Dinah, when they defile her, when they took her.
Hmm.
But you know, that word that they're translating is not the same word that's translated in 21:14. That word is translated to have dishonored her. Inata. So they went and got a transliteration, and when the Amalekites breaking that down, it's saying to take her by force. So they saying to rape her. But that scripture we read, it doesn't say to rape her. It says to dishonor her because you put her away after that. That was the dishonor, not having sex with her. The dishonor was you putting her away since you have humbled her. But let's read that precept again, because nowhere in that precept does it indicate that man took her by force. It says if you're not pleased with her, you should let her go wherever she wishes.
Come. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 21, verse 14. And it shall be, if thou have no delight in her, then thou shalt let her go whither she will. But thou shalt not sell her at all for money. Thou shalt not make merchandise of her, because thou hast humbled her.
Yeah. So they took that word, and if you look up the way to disfuse it, Melachim, is you look up the word, go and look up the Hebrew word for rape, and you'll see that's not the word that's used in Deuteronomy 21:14. He's trying to, it sounds similar, but he's trying to make it seem as though that's the same word, but it's not.
Yeah, I totally agree. Cause I was coming from the force, like, you know what I'm saying, the precept before we got to Deuteronomy 21:10, like, I mean 21:14, like, catch a woman out there in the wilderness, you know what I mean, in the concrete jungle, and he catch her and she don't scream, you know what I'm saying, like, I mean, if she screamed, that's when that's the force I'm looking at. That's when that's rape to me. He forcing himself onto her, and she screaming out, ain't nobody come. So she should be free, but she should be set at liberty. But the other brother, she should be free, set at liberty, but the other brother should get stoned or something like that. That's what I'm thinking about. And force, that's a different type of force from Anah. But that's my thing. I ain't gonna be arguing back and forth. Like, I ain't gonna be doing that with my brother. Like, cause it's some things that he could bring out. Anybody can bring out, and I still got to look into it. So he might be he can drop some jewels that I don't know about. So I got to continue to go deeper with the research to make sure that everything correct. I just, like, that's the thing with me. Like, brother got different understanding. Like, we still brothers. But it's at all the degree we got to find out something. You know what I'm saying? Because I can look at something later on and be like, okay, bro was right. You know what I'm saying? At that time, I was disagreeing with it, but as I continue to learn, like, yo, okay, this is brother man. So some stuff might not mean that at that time, but if I go do my own research, like, I see why I come.
But if you go and look at the word in the Ibrit, that is not the same word. He's using a na, and he's trying to misconstrue it. Look at the word in Deuteronomy 21 and 14. That word that's used there is inata, not ana. That's not the word that's being used there. He's listening to these damn Amalekites and trying to put that precept there. Remember, they put that in Strong's. So what he's doing, he's going to Strong's 60 and 31, like I pulled. But when you look at that, you see that's not the same word. Go and look up Deuteronomy. That only has one occurrence. Inata. Have humbled her. That means you've humbled her. But when you look at the Strong 6031, what he's putting there is ana. That's not the same word, man. So he's confusing people. And if you look at it in the Hebrew, you can see it's not the same word. You see what I'm talking about, Yashabin?
Yeah, that much is clear.
Yeah, ana is not the word that's being used at the end of 21 and 14. The word is inata, which means to dishonor, not rape. Those are two different words right there. It's not even the same. It's not even spelled the same in the Ibrit.
Okay, so you speaking on Kana, right?
I'm speaking on whoever said it.
No, all right, so for Deborah 21 and 14 to be humble, are you speaking on Kana? I'm talking about that Hebrew word.
Inata. The very last to be humble. And it only has one occurrence in the concordance. Someone get me Strong's H6031. I'll show you what I'm talking about. The word is inata. Strong's 6031. Watch this, Yashabin. They can't pull that nonsense on me up. They trying to pull things like that in the past, and I shut that crap down, man. That means to humble, man. Not to rape. He's trying to take another word. He's trying to put a na there. Someone got the Strong 6031? No, you ain't got it. I'll get it. I'll show you. This is the word that's used in Deuteronomy. That's why I'm glad the Most High made me learn it, man. They can't pull this nonsense with me, man.
Con, I got the 6031. Oh, yeah.
I have it on the screen now. You see that? You see that? Jacob, wake up. Now you go and read that. You reference Strong's 6031 and watch it point you right back. It's only mentioned one time. And that's going to take you to Deborah 21 and 14. It only has one occurrence in the concordance. And it's right there in that precept. But they try and take that word and twist it to ana. Now, if you look at the Hebrew rendering, it's not the same word as ana. You guys see that right there?
Con.
Con. Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at that. I'm gonna continue to look that up.
Look, what was that?
Said now I'm gonna continue to look that up.
It's right there. It's pointing right there to Deborah 21 and 14. It has one occurrence. And what does it say? You have humbled her. Because you have humbled her. Not rape. But when you look up ana, that means rape. So they're throwing that in there. Hmm. Those guys, they love to debate, man.
I appreciate that out.
That's what their whole thing is built on, debating and causing controversy. And that's not pulling nobody together, man. I mean, you just think of the name, man. Civil War. That means they're fighting between other Israelites. That can't be good, man.
That's because the
Breaking out, Careful.
Civil War energy out
Pretty
there.
badly, unless it's my connection. Wow, man. All I can say is wow, 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 man. These cats, man. Man, you got to be on point, man, because they will come, and it sounds right. It sounds right until, you know, the Most High put a spirit on you. That's why anything these Israelites tell you, man, go and check out everything for yourself. Check it out for yourself. Go and pull that out. How do you get that from that, man? You done totally. If you look at the word in the Hebrew, man, you can see it's not saying that. And you see, just almost every English transliteration, Yashabim, is literally using the word dishonor.
Yeah.
Or humble. To either dishonor or humble. But they went and got one of the Amalekites over to the side. When you look at it in Strong's, at some point, it could mean to take by force. You see? Come on, man. We're not going to yeah, I'm not going to let you do this, man. God, man. So what they're doing, Jacob, is they went under that and they went and got Strong 6031. And then that's how they came up with Anah. But the word that's used there is not Anah. Now, when you look at Anah, that has 83 different occurrences in the concordance. And lots of those do mean to take by force. But that's not the word that's used there. Oh, look at the Hebrew writing of it. It's not the same word. You see that, right? Yashabin? It's not the same word.
No, it's not.
No.
Basically saying the word force means rape.
Anata. So, yeah, as you saying, to take by force. That's how the Amalekites translated it. Is to take by force. But it's not the same word there. They took Anah when the word is saying Ein. It's really the Einata there. To humble. So they translated it from Anata to Anah to take by force. And hey, that's something I got them now. Let me go and cause a controversy. And they do it all for attention. Meanwhile, they're supposed to be helping folks to understand this thing, but just causing more controversy.
Hey, that's my brother, Doc.
Wow, man. I hear you, man. My brother and my mother is in the temple with me.
Come on.
Wow, wow, wow. Can't say a word, boss, man.
Well, I needed tonight's scriptures because dealing with Eve, it's kind of like, you know, really it's never not a surprise to deal with Eve sometimes. So, you know, I got to meet the guy that's adulterating with Eve, who's adulterating on me, and I seen this guy flinch. He's seen me in my anti-police brutality t-shirt and my anti-feminism hat, and I watched him flinch like I was gonna hit him. And it was like a spiritual slap. I didn't even have to slap him. He's just so weak and pathetic on his own.
Yeah.
You know,
Eve is quite the test, isn't she?
if she's quite the test. So I called Eve's her dad, and you know, I bet, you know, here's the thing. Eve don't tell you when she does this stuff too. That's another thing, because, you know, maybe like since 2020, I kind of thought like, man, is this chick faithful? I have really no idea because she doesn't communicate. Well, since Eve blocked your ass, your chances of running into her kind of go up like randomly, statistically way higher. Because that's how stupid Eve is sometimes when she's doing stuff behind your back. If she's doing stuff behind your back. And you know, you can tell you can tell by the body language and the way that she talked to you and how kind of dismissive she is that she has been doing this kind of stuff. So we kind of covered a lot of the things that like happened too. Like I did shave her head. That's funny that came up tonight. It's funny that came up tonight because she had dyed hair, and so I said, well, you know, let's get rid of this. Let's start this over real quick. And all of these things have come to fruition. You know, there's nothing really as reliable as these scriptures. All this other stuff is just, it's extra, man. All this like kind of divine feminine garbage that they kind of push out in these conscious communities, like it's a real shame that Eve kind of gobble all that up. It's like such a distraction from the scripture, and they'll do anything not to deal with the scripture. They'll deal with any nation, and they'll deal with any voodoo witchcraft that they can think that they have some kind where it's, oh well, I have so on and so forth. So I needed tonight. I feel way better after tonight, just hearing all of these these all of the scripture that's come up tonight has been very relevant to me, and I appreciate that. And so Tawada, I'm very thankful. And I'm also thankful because, you know, I got to see with my own eyes, like, you know, how wicked Eve can be, because Eve won't tell you how wicked Eve can be. You know, you'll just have to find out the hard way.
Yeah.
That's the thing. When they're being wicked, they're not going to be honest with you about it. You know, that's just how it is.
What gets me up is when they claim the Bible and then will disrespect their husbands. And then, like justice is going through, we're trying to destroy their children's lives. being selfish, knowing damn well that the man may be the better parent, but will be selfish, ruin the kid, and then say, "Here, come and get your son."
Right, right. After she does permanent damage, now you have to go pick up the pieces that she's basically left for you. It's not.
There's judgment coming to her for that, man.
How like. I don't know if it has there ever been a more wicked time than these times, man. Like it's almost because of the internet we can see it all now. But like, I think, there was times where things were wicked, but it's almost like the type of wickedness that used to be like, I think perhaps medieval type like kind of violence is down and not public, but what is up in public, it's like it can be even more hyper violent and even worse for the kids, the sexualization of the kids, so on and so forth, man. And it's like, to just think about it, like I'm adulterating, so I'm gonna put your son on a leash and then lock him in another room. It's just like, in no culture would that be kind of like acceptable behavior. And yet,
Explain this one to me, their mom don't have money when they ask her for it 98% of the time. She never gives me money for support or anything, but she has money to take trips to Africa and Honduras. Explain
whoa.
Explain that one to me.
Well, yeah, I mean, Eve can always find budget to be worldly art. That's just, if she it's true though, like her own flesh and blood is less important than her her perceived, like she even though she has flesh and blood, she's still going to try and be an influencer or something. Like I gotta go to Africa and like that, I have to do this, and meanwhile, the kids are eating like pork and beans kind of thing, man. It's just like I don't. It doesn't really process for me. It's kind of sick. It's really kind of strange times to be living through because, unfortunately, Esau has kind of championed all these women rights, and it's garbage. And like I said to you on the phone earlier today, man, like I spoke to that one man, and I told him about my views on how feminism is essentially obsolete and it's bad for the next generation. He was before I had told him the statistics, he was saying like, well, that your view of being against feminism, that's kind of going against the grain for this area, like this geographical area. And to me, it's just like, I don't care if it goes against the grain. The truth has to make you free. It has to come out.
Listen, man, when the remainder of the men like me disappear, men are done. Because men don't stand up and be men anymore, man. Men cater. Men try to appease to their woman. She acts a certain damn way. That the men, she'll break the damn man down. She withholds sex. If a woman withholds sex, man, you should be a damn man of your house and you put her ass out. Don't tolerate nothing like that, man. That's against the laws of the Most High, man. And then she'll still swear that she's following the scriptures. You put her ass out, man. I don't care who don't like this. I don't give a damn if you got children or what by her. You put her the hell out, man. Because you're living in an arrangement where she's getting a convenience, and then when she can afford to leave, she's gonna leave you anyway. So you put her ass out, man.
That exact thing happened to me. What you're saying right now, that happened to me, and I'm going to tell you what happened too, because I don't know if people haven't heard this story before or listening now. They need to hear it. Which is that this woman gave this same woman I'm talking about. She gave me blue balls, and at the same time, in the background, now that I found out through Pim Eyes that she was on OnlyFans. So not only was she like withholding sex from me, but she's putting nude pictures on the internet. On Reddit, OnlyFans, and then like webcam sites, and then people were bootlegging those webcams and like selling her pictures.
Crazy, man.
And she's not even making money off of it. Like more people are making money off of it than she is, like strangers.
That's crazy, man. Then you walking down the street with someone like that, people laughing. You don't even know why they're laughing. Nah, I'm good, man.
I spoke to her, man. I spoke to her dad. I was like, "Why do you let her go to these festivals and do all these drugs?" He's like, "Well, I can't tell her what to do." That's the mentality of this generation. So sad, dude. I should send. I recorded that phone call. I should send it to you. The things like this man told me about this woman, man. It is sad. It is sad, And at the same time, I told him all the things I did for her, and he's like, "Well, you should keep doing those things for her." I'm like, "No, I shouldn't. I'm calling you to tell you that I'll never do these things for her ever again." I think it's important that you meet these people's parents before you go start making offspring with these people, man.
Yep.
If you're gonna make someone your rib, you should go look at what the mother looks like first. Make sure that
her mother, man. Meet her mother. I'm telling you, that would save a lot of you, man.
I wish I had. And it's funny because I asked to meet the father, this woman's dad, and he was like, no, and that to me was a red flag. When I can't come meet the mother, I'm like, oh, here's an old bag that they won't even let me lay eyes on. So, it's funny to me, man. And then this dude that she replaced me with, man, he's got like gap teeth. This guy's a geek, bro. Like, he can't even make eye contact with me without flinching. Oh man, he's so lucky that I have blisters on my feet. If I didn't have blisters on my feet, I would have picked him up, man. He would have gone flying. Oh man.
You know what I'm starting to notice something about Eve. When they recognize a man is on his 10 toes, like on his square, and believe he stand for something, they don't like that. I remember back in the days, like when a woman I observe her, man, they looking for the style, the intelligence, the smell, all that. That stuff don't even matter no more. Like they'll rather just get somebody that's not even worthy so they can run over them. Then they get upset and put the brother on child support. Now he going through all types of obstacles trying to get him some, financial stability to help his family. He locked up, can't make no money while he locked up. It's different. It's totally different. The women dress different. The men dress different. I'm basing this out in Virginia, like what I done see. The stuff I be shaking my head at, like, man, I need to give them child dog flyers to holler at my eye. It be sad, man. I'm like, come on, now the sheep hurting. And it's just unfortunate when I see the brothers out here, man. They walking around with the you know what I'm saying, with their boxers showing, and you'll see stains on they boxers or they briefs. You got the women, you know what I'm saying, they're all out of shape and upset and just blowing the reefers down, blowing the cigarettes down, blowing anything down. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, we destroyed. And no disrespect, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not embarrassing my people or nothing like that. It's just things what I see. Now, what I recognize with with European women, man, like they automatic, like when you stand for something like standing on or standing up, they're like, wow, like I really gotta go against this. Like I really gotta stand firm on it because he's showing himself disciplined. He got some morals about him that European people really don't like that. They're actually afraid of that. And it's unfortunate. I see it every time I go out here and just deal with business, period. Improving myself. I see how the women look at me. Like I dealt with a woman today. I gave her the mail back. She was like, next time just leave the mail on the mail stand. And I'm listening. I'm talking to her like, this woman don't live here. She was like, okay, but when I was thinking about critical thinking, that's not even existing with Eve no more. They just they automatically think we supposed to just bow down to them and keep going. Like, nah, we don't do stuff like that. Like, brothers that's walking in truth, we don't do that.
Yeah, no, you're right, man. You saw, Edomite Eves, man. They rebel. They want to rebel, and it's
Hey, care for them. Hey, man, them women. Hey, man, them white women. I ain't doing. I'm just being straight blunt with you. Them white women, man, they got the craziest mouth.
Yeah, no, they do have the craziest mouth. I talked to this Eve about like I tried to have a conversation with her, and she's like she forgives me. I'm thinking to myself, like, you forgive me? I should pimp slap you for not only going behind my back, wasting my time, wasting my fiat, but I literally went after a lot of these companies that were trying to sell her like nude body on the effing internet, man. And that like a law firm would have charged her tens of thousands of dollars to do all those Digital Media Copyright Act takedowns. And I found out that there's a lot more websites that have her ass all over there. She doesn't care. Her dad cared. Her dad wanted me to keep taking them down. I'm not doing it for free. And she's already adulterated. There's no way I'm not gonna do it no matter what, period. Bottom line. It's pathetic. It's disgusting. Eve is like, here's the thing. There are good Edomite Eves out there that I will find. I can guarantee you, and I have found them, and I know they exist, but it's not those ones that catch your attention, man. It's the these bottomless pits, man. That they're the ones that try to run up on you. It's funny because like I remember I had this Eve try to block me off that liked me. It was disgusting, man. It's like they'll actually like try to put their elbows out and like try to like fence you in because they like you. It's like it's almost it's like dealing with a beast, man. Or actually, these two lesbians. One of them was drunk, and so she's hitting on me, and the other one's trying to get her off of me. It's like crazy. It's nonsense, man. This generation, it's like a lot of people are not headed to Shemayim, man, and they don't want to hear it. They don't want to repent. They just want to keep, smoking cigarettes, adulterating, getting more terrible, god awful tattoos, like just getting any man to draw on them because they get off on that. That's part of it too. Is that just to be drunk in some weird leather chair and have some guy sweating over you at 4 a.m. It's really weird, man. It's just the stuff that Eve gets into, man. It's just like doing stuff that men do, like just smoking cigarettes, all that kind of stuff. It's like, why? Why do you want to be more like picking up all these like weird, like not even good male habits? Like they're just trying to do stuff that men do. They want to pick up all these male jobs, like they're gonna be truckers or plumbers and stuff. It's like, why? Like, why do you want? It's ridiculous. Oh man! Out of 1,000 people, only one woman complimented that Men Against Feminism shirt and hat. She like whispered it to me. It's like I'm against feminism. Like she doesn't. Like the Edomite Eve that was against feminism was scared. Like is scared to speak up about it. Do you know what I mean? So it tells you a lot. That tells you a lot where their heads at, man. And today's topic too, man. It's just like people. Like if you put out a son or a daughter into the world, like that really is that's like the crown jewel of your legacy. And then the way that they treat the way that they treat it, it's like you can't sweep your son or daughter under the rug. You just can't do that. You got like you were saved in childbirth. Now you're just trying to undo all of that with how you're treating it. This whole world is caught up in that stuff right now.
Careful, if it's anything, I'm glad you found Doc, man. If it's anything.
If you knew how degenerate I was before I met Dog, you have no idea, man. Just awful. You wouldn't even recognize me. I'm glad to. I'm very glad, actually. You know, it's funny. It's like kind of like it's almost like having access to Occam's razor, and everyone else is kind of like blind to it. But like when you can see when you're able to see the truth, and then like everyone else is blind, and like when you can like just wake up only a couple people, you know and then you get to see what that looks like. It's something incredible. I was telling Dog, like, there was this guy, he looked like the devil. He was teaching like some weird satanic ritual workshop, okay? And then like, but he made a song during that time, which the lyrics of the song were like, I'm a heathen, but I found the remedy, or something. And it was like, I looked on the line, I couldn't find the song. It was an original song that he had made in the span of the time that he had seen me wear that anti-police brutality shirt with the True Disciples of Christ.org written across it, or the Men Against Feminism shirt. And so, you know, just like if you can just get a couple people to wake up, you know, and then those people are gonna also wake maybe just one person up. If I like that's my goal, man. If I can wake just one person up, just one man, one woman, if I can wake one, you know, that's a lot. That's more than none. And if you can do more than that, like look at the YouTube subscribers that Tazandak has on Deprogrammed Enlightener, like 50,000, 60,000. Like those are huge numbers, man. That's a lot of people. You know how many? You know what 1,000 people looks like? Have you ever seen a group of 1,000 people, and then multiply that by 60? Like that's a sizable, you know, that's a sizable amount of people who, you know, at one time or another, you know, liked everything that this channel offering. That tells you a lot, man. And it also tells you there's a lot more people out there that this message needs to get to.
That's fast, Doc. The Big Bro got like 5 million views though.
Well, you know, there's people who you know, they know they know to have subscribed, but you know they're caught up in the world still. Like I was caught up in the world when I hit subscribe too, man. It doesn't mean just because I hit that subscribe button doesn't mean I you know I was under grace or I was saved, man. Like, you know, only just recently did I quit smoking weed. I was like like for more than half of my life I was addicted to cannabis, like, and psychologically addicted, not chemically addicted. Like I needed it to think, that just to be able to get through my day, and like even to come on here, maybe even have confidence to talk, to do stand-up comedy, whatever it was. I would, you know, try to use it as a vice to go boxing, whatever it was, you know, try to think I needed it. But I realized that it just made me have like no short-term memory. And then listening to myself talk on it, I'm like thinking to myself, like, it's embarrassing to hear myself high. I was like, it's really dumb. Why would I want to be high? It's so stupid. So that's only just recently that, like, just recently that I decided that, you know, I don't need that in my life, man. So, you know, whatever people are going through right now, it's like you got to realize that the number one force that High Shaitan is going to come to affect you through is through yourself, and use yourself against yourself. You know, your worst enemy is going to be coming from within at first. Like, you know, I like that description of an Edomite being a vessel of wrath, man. And I think this channel is a good description of like a place where you can, like, you got to empty that glass of wrath out before you can fill it up with the Most High, any kind of information. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm paraphrasing this from Dan Penna, but it's like basically like you're gonna have to empty your glass of urine before I'm gonna fill it up with right knowledge for real, basically, from Tazandak. You're not you're not gonna be able to you know, take these scriptures away if you're gonna just go back to video games or pornography or drugs, or like there's so many ways that you can, you know, ruin yourself, that you allow to ruin yourself. You know, it's you gotta admit that, you know, I'm in control. I don't need what the world is offering me. What I need is the scriptures, and if what I'm doing goes against the scriptures, then I know better. And if I knew better, I would do better. So, you know, for the longest time, just because I'm on this channel doesn't mean I was perfect. I had my own problems that I was allowing into my own life, man. And that could be women, and that could be women that are loose. That could be women that, you know, they want to, you know, just because a woman is giving you choosing signs doesn't mean that you should choose her. That's big. That's like a big thing that I could have skipped that in 2020. Like, just, you know, you like a girl and then she gives you choosing signs. If you jump on that, you know, you're skipping steps, man. Like, I think what Kahan's saying about how, like, you know, you should go meet her mother first. That's probably, like, I would have happily subscribed to that. That would have saved a whole lot of heartache. Because you don't want to be, you just don't want to have your time wasted, man. Like, you get so much, you only get so much of that in this world, and that time can be used against you, so you don't get into Shemayim because you used your time in frivolous ways. And that goes for Eve, that goes for Jake, that goes for Esau, that goes for anyone in any nation. It's like, if you know, if you're indulging in you know, the whore of Babel, don't be surprised what happens, man. Like, it's easy. It's really easy because it's everywhere in this world, man. Like, they don't go light on the advertising of all of it. All praises be to the Most High. David, facts, King. Oh, man. Oh, this is a really. I think this was a really. I think we got. There's some really good stuff in this one today too, because like, if I don't know how good you are at video editing their Jacob Wake Up, but like, if you could take the clip of the response of this video to the video that you had found, that would be really good on the internet. Like, that would be something good for Twitter to be shared around. I like those kind of, like, one camp says this and it's refuted by this camp kind of thing. That'd be a cool video. But I digress. Oh, man.
Nah, they are brothers, man. Like, I just, like, if we sit at a table, we just gonna have to, like, discuss it and still get up and be men at the same time. That's something I wouldn't do though. Like, just make these videos and try to make brothers disproven. No, I ain't doing that. Cause at the end of the day, your work's gonna be shown regardless.
At some level, though, shouldn't you rebuke it just because you now know? Because,
See,
I don't.
not my thing is stuff like that. Careful. I'd rather call that person. You know, what I did previously. If I got a problem with a brother on the internet, I get his phone number, and when I call him, I go through the middleman or whatever title they got going on to find out if I can get to him. And if the middleman don't want me to talk to him, then I will at least talk to the middleman about my disagreements, and we become brothers like that. Now I'm cool with the middleman, and I'm still cool with my brother that's before him. So me making videos or trying to disprove another brother from his point of view, that's gonna cause more controversy when there's already a ton of brothers doing that. I'm not gonna do that for clickbait or view. Like, that's something I wouldn't do. I'd rather just call the brother, or I'll find a way to get to him to you know what I'm saying, give my point of view, and then gain my brother on that. Cause again, Careful, at the time when information go out, you might not get it right then and there. You might have a disagreement with it, but as you go into a deeper, like a brother might be bringing out something to you that you don't understand, and when you look at it, like, oh, okay, now I see what he's talking about. All of us got different point of views, so I'm just not gonna automatically attack my brother or something that I don't comprehend what he's bringing out at that time of moment. You know what I'm saying? So that's the beauty of it. Like, I gotta allow it to resonate. And if it's something I agree with, I agree with. Something I disagree with, hey, he might continue to read and bring something new back out, and he's gonna be more edified. He might come back and bring more edification to help me out. So I ain't that type of brother. Like, I'd rather just call him, and if the middleman be like, well, if before I go to the middleman, but if the brother come back out and increase and put me on, he letting me know that, like, yo, he increasing. But if it's some type of like camp thing, like, yo, bro, you can't call this man right now. He busy. You got to go through me. Like, all right, okay. Well, if the middleman be like, okay, so what is your disagreements or what you don't understand? I would tell my understanding. I would let him know my misunderstanding or my disagreement, and then we'll talk about it and see if he learned from his brother, if he learned from the man ahead of him, then I can learn from the middleman and see and do a comparison.
I'm just more like look at it like this too, though, like, because if you put that what you brought up today, all those people that listen to that, if they believed him, you owe all those people edification, because now you know the truth. So I wouldn't be like, it's not something that I would take private. Like, I really would go to the public and say, like, look, anyone who listened to this broadcast, like, you know, that you're being misled, because, you know, what he was saying was feminism, and it was a mistranslation. It's a misnomer. It's not. That wasn't what the scripture was saying. And normally I will agree with what you're saying. It's sound, but I'm just saying, when it comes to scripture, though, it's like, it's better to be direct. I'm not saying to be like Clubhouse, like, where everyone's at each other's throat trying to prove that they're the better, you know, they know more, and and everyone else is wrong but them. That's not the point. You know, we want to bring everyone up on this right knowledge for real. I hear what you're saying, though. I think you're trying to be respectful. You're not trying to embarrass him. I dig that, but there's still a lot of people who are being misled by that kind of information. It sounded like feminism to me, because a lot of people on places like Clubhouse, they'll take scripture and they'll try to bend it to somehow be about women's rights somehow, when it is not.
Oh, what you talking about? Carefoot feminism. I was talking about rape.
Right, but it wasn't rape. And in feminism, it's all about safe space and consent and da 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 da. It's all just, those are all just buzzwords for feminism. Just give women the control.
But moreover, I'd rather just do it respectfully and just handle it the proper way, because not only is a million people watching us, but they also use a discernment to see, like, all the other stuff that's going on. Like, okay, this brother arguing with that brother, they still ain't learning nothing. So I would be that person that's not gonna bring controversy throughout this platform to shed light on something that we're trying to build, and you know, quite frankly, arrogancy or ignorance can actually be broadcast, and I don't want that to happen amongst us. I'd rather do it privately and then come back. I'd rather do it privately and come back publicly, like, yo, we had this disagreement, now we good, we bros, and we can, have a good time with it. Instead of bringing out controversy and in public, everybody watching us, and then they give that discouragement out, like, man, they still can't get it right. But let me do this without the internet. Like, I keep this. I don't think you should do this. I think you should do that. And now we're gonna make a public appearance, I would say, and be like, yo, this my brother. Still got love for him. We had this. We'll agree on this now. So now, for you looking at it like, yo, that's some genuine brothers right there. That's teaching leadership, discipline, and how we should be amongst each other. Like all us got different disagreements. All us, like, I might like fat women, you might like skinny women. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we all know that Jacob Wake Up likes grandma. Let's be honest.
I might like older women, you like the younger women. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, so like it. So yeah. But no, but well, I want to bring up the scripture from Matthew where it says, if you have a discrepancy with your brother, you should go talk to him in private. That was the one that I was thinking of because you brought it before the church immediately. You didn't really go to the brother that said that. However, you were edified to go do so. So you have the opportunity now to go in private and ask him to correct it. And if he still hasn't corrected it, go back to him with another witness or two. And then come back here and say, well, he still won't budge on that one scripture. Then, we can we can then go from there. I'm not sure why he dropped out. I didn't mean to jab him with the grandma comment that hard, but I did accidentally. That straight punch came out of nowhere. I'm not sure why I threw that. But he dropped out the call. Hope I didn't hurt your feelings, Jacob. Wake up. In any case, if I hurt your feelings, I meant to. You are listening to Tazan Doctrine. I hope you've hit the subscribe button, the like button, the join button. TrueDisciplesOfChrist.org/shop. Get the merch, the zeets, the books. I know we're onto the truth here because the more I share it, the more the people who disagree with it, they get more and more feral, which is fine. I'll deal with it. And we'll go from there. I hope Kadar, Justice Rahim, Yashabim, Pazandak you're of good spirits, good health. Hope you're all taking care of yourselves. Try to be of best of health. Most high willing, we all get to see tomorrow. And I'm back in society right now. I just came back from the bush. I was in the back 40. I'm not gonna lie. I like nature until you get hurt. And then you realize that you kind of have to go back to Babel for a little bit. Go speak to a so-called expert in some field. But I had a bush doctor wrap my blisters, and then I had to go back to society and get some Band-Aids. But we'll get to a point where we're not so dependent on so-called modern society, if you can really call it modern. Here we go. We got a Shalom family from Macrina. Shout out to you. Peace be with you. Oh, I'm just thankful to be alive, to be honest with you. I drove a 56-year-old truck 4 hours down a washboard road, so not sure how I made it, but I did. Oh man, it's in my pocket. This is really family to me, in my opinion. Like there's no family like this family to me. This is the ultimate family to me. There's other people in my life, but they're all kind of sideways, man. That's the thing. Over here, no one comes sideways ever. I've never seen someone come sideways on this platform. You can't keep it up. You got to stay in your b-boy stance over here. If you want to go sidewinder, there's a million other pockets of the internet you can be on. This is the truth will make you free, then make you mad. If you can dig it. Well, you have all these neo-pagan Christians telling you that to worship on Sunday and so forth, and use all their weird, abominable translations. Yet over here, we're really just trying to get to the root of it. You know, and I get a lot of people call me a moron for believing in this stuff. I got someone telling me that this is all Amalekite conspiracy, that this Hebrew Israelite stuff. So I hear you there, Kahan. What how goes the travel? Have you arrived for the night? Or are you driving through the night? I know you've been up for 8 hours on the road, so most how willing you're safe and sound right now. We're live right now. Who's live with me? Who's alive? let's see how long Esau can entertain crowd for. Please, the StreamYard link has been posted. StreamYard.com/Golf Alpha 272 Romeo Golf Victor 7 Delta. If you want to click that link that's been posted in the chat, you'll see it says one page up. Please join the back room and you will be brought on stage. If you show some decorum, I'd love to hear some people's thoughts on this topic. And again, how women treat their man, and is there, where's that line in the sand? Like what, and what does it, what does like a family look like under the laws of the Most High? Like, how does that operate? Does that operate better than the way that modern society is teaching you to live? I contend that it is. I think that more and more that you know what, I want to bring something up. There's a prayer in the book of Taz and Docs that I wanted to bring up. Just gotta find it real quick here. It's in the Paleo Hebrew for Beginners book. And I want to pull that up. See if I can't find that right now. There it is. Here's my shafar. Where's my look for it. There's a prayer in there that I think really was effective for me. Like ever since I said it, like it's come into effect. If I can only find it. My father's ashes are right here. It's pretty not what I'm looking for, however very peculiar. Oh man. Let's see what we can't do here. I really don't like being back in society though. Here we go, I found it. There we are. This is the book I wanted to talk about. This book. Okay, here we go. This book. Who has this book? This book is fantastic. I know my Paleo Hebrew alphabets for children and beginners, and I'm definitely a beginner, so what I know is very rudimentary. However, this is what I've been wanting to learn. This Paleo Hebrew. I don't want to learn the modern Hebrew. I want to learn the real thing. So I wanted to turn to this real quick because there was a prayer in here that I seen. Originally, I was thinking like you guys got to buy this book because I think this prayer is necessary. Really, you don't want to be drunk. You don't want to be shakar. Okay, guys. You want to have this book. You don't want to buy alcohol. You want to get this book. Listen to Ottawa for a second here. Let me find this prayer for you guys. Here we go. This was the prayer that came true to me. This was the faith prayer. Yahuwah, by Hashem, Yahusha, Barak, Ya'ath, Rabbiah, Achmawan. Most High, in the name of the Lord, bless me with more faith. Now, I made that prayer just recently, and I believe it came true because it almost did. Like, it not only almost did, it really did a lot. So, and like I told some Edomites how my faith in the Most High was secured when I was in the car crash on the Cornell Hickson Highway, when I flipped my Jeep off the highway, and they told me, "Well, you believe in the Canaanite? You believe in the Canaanite god Yahweh?" And I said, "Whoa, that is not." And they said, "Well," and they tried to flip it on me, saying, "Well, that proves that you're an Amalekite because you worshipped your Canaanite god, and your Canaanite god saved you." So it's like the more scoffers I get, the more I believe in the Most High, because the more these prayers come true for me. And it's almost like the more the unbelievers keep on trying to throw shade. It's pretty impressive. So this book, I know my Paleo Hebrew alphabets for children and beginners. Highly recommend this book, guys. What I like to do is like I tuck it inside my sefer. There's a little zip on the front of your sefer. I put it in the front of my sefer, and so it's good to lead the Most High's prayer in the morning and when the sun comes up, and with the shofar. Definitely, this book is a must-have, and I'm very blessed to have it. I'm very happy to have it. Took it with me on my trip. I'm gonna read you the back of the book real quick here, guys. It's a fantastic book. It's not super long, and anyone can get into it. That's the best part about it. There's no really Yersha Allah. If you wish to have everlasting life and enter into life, keep the commands. Matahayu, chapter 19, verses 16 and 17. See, the days are coming, declares Yahweh, when I shall make a new covenant with the house of Yersha Allah and with the house of Yehuda, not like the covenant I made with their fathers in the days when I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Misraim. Hear, O Israel, Yahweh our Elohim. Yahweh is one, and you shall love Yahweh your Elohim with all your heart. Definitely get this book, guys. Please get this book. So good. And that prayer for more faith, like I said, like I made that prayer, and again, it just expedited all of the heathens out of my life quicker. Like I'm talking about Eve's crying, "Please don't talk to me," blah, blah, blah. Oh, okay. I guess me telling your dad that you do OnlyFans was a very effective way to kick you out of my life. It was very good. I'm glad I did it. And so that's what my message for today is. If you know people in your life that are up to nonsense, do your best to pull the plug on the nonsense for them. Even if that means that they have to get out of your life. That's probably the best. And that's the best thing for you. And you're going to be in full subjection to the Most High at that point. You gotta kick the dust on the unbelievers who aren't yoked onto you at this point. Because the way things are going in the world, you don't want to be yoked onto these heathen nations and these pagans and all this stuff. You're right on the good money over here. This like tonight was really good. I needed all of the scriptures that we went over tonight. Because with all your being and with all your might, and these words which I am commanding you today shall be in your heart, and you shall impress them upon your children, and shall speak of them when you sit in your house, and when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise up, and you shall bind them as a sign on your hand, and they shall be as frontlets between your eyes, and you shall write them on the doorpost of your house and on your gates. Devarim, chapter 6, verses 4 through 9. Luke chapter 10 and 28. Do this and you shall live. Definitely get this book, guys. I don't know a better Paleo Hebrew alphabet, especially for children and beginners. However, just in general, there really isn't another one. Like the free app that I had on my phone, like I didn't really learn anything off of that. But this book, it's nice to really be able to have it in your hands, first off. And when the internet goes down, which could be any day, you'll be very happy to have books. That's the one thing that no one can take from you is the things you learn. That's why these books are so important, guys. That's why I try to tell people and I try to press on people, get the books, because if a time comes where they take everything, to have this stuff, these thoughts, these words, these scriptures in your mind, you're free. Like I can't, ever since I came across this channel, like it's like my life has gotten way better. So much, like it's like it like night and day is not a good enough of a metaphor, because in a sense the day is the night, so that's not effective enough for me. And it's almost like the day is like the night in a sense. This is more than that. You can't compare anything on earth to Shemayim. It's just it's a microcosm versus a macrocosm. You know what I mean? Like we're just in the microcosm right now, but the macrocosm is the Shemayim. That's why it's so important to press and press and press and press on people to find out if they're really, like, do they really have it in them to learn this stuff? Because like I know someone right now, he's in the loony bin. Steve, shout out to Steve. Get out the loony bin, Steve. I doubt you're listening to this, but you ought to be. And he messaged me, Shalom. But that's how he wants my attention. That's how I know. Like, okay, is he really trying to get into this truth, or is he just want my attention? So, people who try, man, it says a lot. But I'm gonna try to reach these people. And you'll find those people that want to. That there are those that can listen, man, and like they might even, like I said, the one woman out of 1,000. There was a festival, and there was this one woman who sees me in the Men Against Feminism shirt, and she kind of whispers. He goes like, I don't like feminism. She didn't like the feminism, but she's scared to speak out in front of other women because she's scared of what other women might do. Tells you a lot about where women are, man. Where good women have to whisper to be heard, man. That's a dire situation in the world, man. You can tell that there are times in the Bible that were better than what we're going through right now, despite all of the advances in technology and information accessibility. Like, it's almost as if, like, in our own household, we can go to any depth of hell or Shemayim where we want, and most of it is not Shemayim on the internet. So this place that you found here on this channel, like, you do your best to spread it to all the good people that you know, and bring it to the right people, man. Bring it to people who really are going to appreciate it, because there's a lot of bigotry on the internet, and this isn't one of those places. Like, a lot of the information here, it's like, if it offends you and you feel that it's offensive, you need to kind of find out and look within and say, well, why does the Most High offend me, and what state of mind am I in that I can be so easily manipulated by the world to be kind of upset about what the Most High has to say, because there are, when you're in the world and you come into this channel, it's like there are certain scriptures that you will hear them and you might, you know, you'll feel you'll feel a leak in your eye, in your tear duct, because you know you've been up to no good. And the whole point of this is just not to be in that world anymore. So, you know, if we don't, like I said, my own mother put me on a leash. She has pancreatic cancer and she's in the other room right now. Okay, she put me on a leash. Okay, she's going through her own punishment for all that kind of behavior that Justice Rahim's former rib is doing to his flesh and blood right now. You know, the Most High has a plan for her. You better believe it. And the only reason why I'm here visiting my mother is because she has pancreatic cancer. And I want to do my best to honor that. And yet, at the same time, not limited to that, you know, the Most High is teaching me, and she's kind of regressing to a state where, you know, I got to make sure that she's okay. The way that she took care of me, and not the same way that she took care of me in the sense that she put me on a leash and took me downhill skiing because she wanted to go downhill skiing. Doesn't want me to go, you know, loose, I guess. And unfortunately, like, it's shocking when, you know, a son or a daughter gets involved, in my opinion, because, you know, you would, in my opinion, like, if you have a son or a daughter, it's like, at that point, that's when I look at my computer and I say, like, okay, I don't want any video games on this computer. I don't want any pornography on this computer, and I want to make sure that I'm a pure vessel, because I'm going to be giving parts of myself to my son or daughter. Like, these are, I'm tearing parts of myself out of myself to give to my son or daughter, and those aren't things I'm getting back. Like, that means I'm done with them on this world, in this world. Like, here we go, because this is what they did to Marty Marr. I'm going to show you. Here's my dad. I'm going to pull him out. This is, because apparently over here we're I don't think I want to be turned to ashes. That's for darn sure. But this is where they put my dad. I'll show you. So here's my dad's ashes right here in an urn. And in my opinion, I'm not a really huge fan of this. But that's what they, instead of being written into the dirt, like Marty Marr was supposed to be. Let me see if I can't turn my camera around though. Hold on. Yeah. But there's his death date right there, July 22nd, 2007, May 20th, 1945. Born Garth Donald Carefoot. There you go. And you know, they, as Dan Penna says, like, how do you know that there's Marty Marr inside this urn and not Fido, right? So don't trust Esau to cremate, man. Like, there's a really good video on YouTube by the Kahan on you know, how you want to be written into the dirt the day that, you know, you die, man, and before sundown preferably, and all the protocols to that. Like, it was like the amount of depth that is on this channel. There is no other camp out there that goes to depth in accuracy like over here. And, you know, a lot of the time with these other camps are going over, it's inaccurate. Stop chasing old ladies, classic bars. Oh man. Uh-oh. I believe Jason's in the comments, guys. We gotta get out of Camp Crystal Lake real quick. We gotta start running. But you know what? Maybe that's where he went right now. That's where he went, Jason. He's I mentioned it, and he had to go run down to the geriatric farm. I think I'm allowed to rib on him a little bit, because he used to be kind of like, I remember when Jacob Wake Up first came to this channel, and he didn't like me Didn't like me a one little tootin' bit. So I'm allowed a few free ribs for sure. But I am gonna check in again with Kadar, Justice Rahim, Yashabin, Kahan Tazandar. I'm always concerned when I have to be when I'm talking to myself for these long periods of time. However, I know it's the Most High's will. You know, so there was this didgeridoo teacher doing a workshop, and I brought out the shofar, and so this Amalekite steps up and says like, "Oh yeah, we use that in our like he didn't call it a high holy day. I can't remember what he called it, but like I can't even keep a straight face when Amalek tries to claim to be Yasha Allah, man. It's just like it really like it starts to tickle me in a weird way. Like, I start to feel embarrassed and like funny almost. Like it's like I can't even look at them. I can't. And then I gave some edification about like sounding the shofar to the east, and I seen him like kind of shrink and be like, he really didn't fit the Hebrew Israelite prototype. That's how it goes.